If you have a sewing machine in your house and you can pedal it, even if you are not into tailoring full time, you can sew iro and buba by yourself. And if you are a tailor, you've forgotten how to cut and sew iro and buba, let me remind you how to cut the perfect neckline, the yardage you need for some sizes. So we are going to be going in depth into it, so I will encourage you to watch the video to the very end. So let's begin the class properly. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to the class. Now, you will need at least 5 yards of Ankara. Now, it depends on the type of Ankara you are going for. If you are using high grade Ankara, 5 yards will be very, very okay. But if you are using all those low grade Ankara, the length of the small grade Ankara or medium size is not as wide as those high grade ones. Okay, if you don't know that one, know it now. Okay, that's what I have noticed. So if you're using high grade Ankara, just budget 5 yards, it will be okay. But if you are using all those low grades and the person is a little bit busty, yes, just please, but just budget this 6 yards, right? If it will remain, it will just remain little. Now, from your 6 yards, the first thing you need to do is to measure out 2 and 18 inches out. 2 yards, 18 inches. I hope that is clear. Let me show you. This is 2 yards, 18 inches. 2 yards, 18 inches. So remove 2 yards, 18 inches out. Okay, so with the folding and everything, so that it's going to wrap the person in case they want to tie it to the back. And you know, if the person is big, so that it to for somebody like me, 2 yards, 12 inches would be nice for somebody like me. For a big size, okay, somebody that is big, 2 yards, 18 inches. After you've already, you know, the joining allowance and everything, it should remain like maybe like 2 yards, maybe like 14 inches or 13 inches thereabouts. So that it's going to be enough to tie very well. So I have the 2 yards, 18 inches over here. Then to know what you cut for the buba itself. Now let me show you how to measure for buba. This is the person. So this is how you're going to measure. Let me shoot the camera. Yeah, so this is how you're going to measure the person. Okay, you're going to measure from the back. Okay, so you see this bone right here. I have this middle part. This is where you're going to do and start the measurement from. Now, you know, we have different ways that we do buba now. Before, buba is usually like, we call it towobobe, that one that will reach the wrist. But now there are different styles people, you know, make their buba. You can see all those short ones, only cool. We have the three-quarter ones, you know, different ways. So you ask your customer, where do you want your buba sleeve to get to? Okay, so just make sure you are measuring from this part, right? So measure, take your tape, put it there, then you measure like this. So you let the person know where do you want it to get to. Okay, let's say for this my customer, they just want it a little bit below the elbow, just a little bit below the elbow. So over here I have 24 inches for the customer. Yeah, for the customer is 24 inches, right? Note that one out. We're going to be adding seam allowance to it of about 2 inches to it. So the sleeve is 24 inches. Now for the body, to know how many, I mean the quantity of fabric we're going to cut out for the buba itself, you're going to use the largest part of the person body. If the largest part of the person body is the bust, that's what you're going to be using. If the largest part of the body of the person is the hips, that's what you're going to be using to cut out the quantity of fabric you're going to be using. Let's say for instance, for this my mannequin now, the largest part is the hips. So we have around 40 inches over here. Okay, so that's what you're going to be using. But for this my customer, the largest part is the bust. The person is busted, so our bust is 44 inches. 44 inches. Our bust is 44 inches. Now before then, determine the length of your buba. Now if the length of someone, let's say my length is just 25 inches, you must add 2 inches to it. Okay, you know, buba is not supposed to be short. At least it should be a little bit, maybe on the hips. Okay, so that it's going to relax when you tie wrapper on it. It's not that it's going to bend and the buba will be coming out of it. So you have to determine that. Now for this customer, a normal buba length, a normal length is 25 inches. Okay, I'm going to be adding 2 inches to it. That gives us 27 inches. Okay, then I'm going to add allowance to it. I hope that is clear. Altogether we have around 29 inches. So that is what you're going to use to cut your fabric. Now you're going to cut your fabric, you know, this over here we have 29, so you're going to cut it on fold just like this. Okay, that is like 29 plus 29 inches. I hope that is clear here. 29 plus 29 inches, like 58 inches, right? So the length over here is 58 inches. So I folded it into two. Let me open it up so that you understand. Okay, can you see? Yes. So from here to here like this is the etiaje. Can you see the etiaje here? Okay, so the way I measure the length is like this. Can you see? So the length like this is the 58 inches. Okay, this is the etiaje, this is the part, so that you know how to cut it. Then I folded it like this. You fold it like this, fold it into two, because we're going to be cutting the back and the front together. You know, they will not be joining at the shoulder part. Okay, so fold it together like this. So when you fold it together, this is the etiaje. Are you seeing it? So that you know the way I'm folding it. Then you fold it back. Okay, you fold it back like this. Can you see what we have? Can you see the folding now? Aha. So you see this part is the open part, this part is closed part. Don't get get confused when you are doing the cutting, right? Now for the body, now that we have it folded like this, for the body, our bust, which is the largest part, is 44 divided by 4, because we are cutting the back and the, you know, into 4. So 44 divided by 4, we have 11 inches. You know, Buba is not supposed to be fitted, right? It's supposed to be at least free. But these days people don't just wear baggy Buba again. It's still a little bit smart. If the person wants it very big, add like 2.5 to 3 inches to it. But for this person, it's just like moderate size. So for her, I'm going to be adding 1.5 for ease allowance. Okay, now I have the 11 inches over here. So mark the 11 inches from up to down. 11 inches from up to down. Okay, 11 inches from up to down. 1.5 for ease allowance. So go ahead and mark that. So after that, I'm just going to go ahead and join all these lines together. So just join all these lines together like this. Okay, so we have it joined together. Okay, now for the neckline, now it depends on how you can see this neckline that I'm wearing. You can see the way it is. It's okay for Buba, but you know, some persons now these days, they want the neckline to be very wide. It depends on what your customer wants. Just follow their preference. If they want it to be very wide, just go for around 4.5 to 5 inches, but it to be wide, you know, those wideness. So that is what you should go for, but just like a moderate wideness. So for here we are going for 4 inches moderate wideness, because her bust area is also this is so the width is 4 inches. Then I'm going for the depth of 4.5, 4 inches by 4.5. You know, the back and the front is the same. Okay, so we are cutting this it together. So go ahead and cut. Make sure your circle is very circle. Like, let it be very, very nice when you are creating your circle. Okay, all right, so we have both the front and the back cuts like that. Then for this part, we just go ahead and cut it out. So you can go ahead and reconfirm the length. Yes, you know, we said we need length of, that's 29 after the joining allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. Okay, so we have our front and the back. Okay, can you see? This is the front and the back cut together. You are not to slit this part too. It's going to be like that. So before you go ahead and do anything, please notch this part. Notch this part. Notch it. Can you see? Notch it. So we have our Buba cut out now. All right, so let's cut the sleeve before we cut the facing for the neck. I'll be using the remaining one from this to cut the facing. Now for the sleeve, remember from this part, okay, to where we want, to the desired length of our sleeve, we said for this my client customer, I'm going for 24 inches. Yes, 24 inches. Then for the joining allowance, I'm going to add 2 inches to it, right? Now remember, it's from here. That means that this is it. This part, okay, just at the middle, just at this middle, okay, meaning that this is where we measure the sleeve from. This sleeve, the sleeve is starting from here. Don't get, like, when we measure the sleeve, we measure it from here. So meaning that our sleeve, that 24 is starting from here. Okay, now that we already have, remember, 11 inches plus 1.5, that is 12.5 inches. Okay, 12.5 inches. Now 12.5 inches minus the 24 inches. I hope that is clear. The sleeve starts from here, then we already have 12.5 inches already. Then we are going to be minusing the 12.5 inches from the 24 inches. That will give us 11.5 inches that we have. I folded the Ankara into 4. See what I did? You can see I folded it into 2. Then I folded it again. Okay. Now, talking about the width, the wideness of your Buba. You know, Buba is not smart. It's supposed to be wide. It also depends on how your customer wants it. There are some that are very bogus, especially all those Oleku. They are always bogus. If you are going for something like that, you can use like 13 inches, yes, or you use 12 inches. But I'm going for like somehow moderate, so I'm going to be using 11 inches for this my customer. Then I will be adding 1 inch to it for the joining allowance. That gives us 12 inches. I hope you are getting it right. Now we are going to measure the length of our sleeve. Now we are going to first of all remove the 12.5 inches that we have first. Let me remove this TRG from it. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the 12.5 inches that we already have on this the body. Okay, then I'll go ahead and measure the 24 inches. I'm going to be adding allowance to it. You know, we're going to use half of an inch to join with the half of an inch that we added on this one. Yes, I added half of an inch to the 12.5, making it 13 inches for the joining allowance on the body here. So we're going to be using half of an inch also to join it to that particular one too. So with the half of an inch we have 24.5. Then I'm going to add another 2 inches to it for the folding allowance at the down part. I don't want the folding to be too small. I want it a little bit big, right? So I'm going to be adding 2 inches to it. So that gives us 1, 2. That gives us 26.5. Yes. Yes, 26.5. That gives us 26.5. So I'll go ahead and mark the 26.5 over here. Okay. So go ahead and cut this out. So over here is our sleeve. Then for the wideness, you know, I said I'll be using 12 inches for the wideness. So what I folded here is just exactly what I need for it. Okay, then I'll go ahead and cut this. Okay, so that we have 2 already. Now I'm going to notch this part. Please make sure you notch it so that it's going to help you to align it properly, so you can see what we have for the sleeve. This is what we have for the sleeve. Now let's cut the facing. So watch the way I'm going to fold the fabric. Okay, you can see. Then fold like this. Can you see? Then fold like this again. Can you see? Then bring this one up. Make sure the upper part is the open part, then this part is the sealed part. Okay, because the facing must be one piece. It has to be just one piece. Remember, we do not slit the back and the front. Okay, then take the body of the Buba. Then let it match properly. Let it match. Arrange it, let it match properly. Okay, then take your chalk. Take your chalk and go ahead and just mark. Okay, then you cut it out after marking. Can you see what we have? So after that, then you're going to determine the length of your facing. For this one, I'm going for 3.5. So you have to measure that 3.5 round, okay, so that you have a form of circular shape. Okay, so can you see? Then connect these ones together just like this, okay, then cut it out. You can see what we have for the facing. So the next thing we are going to do is to take the body, okay, open it up like this, open the buba up just like this. Then you take one of the sleeve, right? Remember that part that we notch. That's why I say you should notch it. It's very important. Where we notch over here on the body also, then notch the two parts together. This is the sleeve, notch it. Match the notch part together. You can pin it. Okay. Now for this particular style, you know, there's a way they sew. We usually sew buba before that. You see the seam, like it's going to be like a top stitch outside. I don't want to sew it like that. I want to finish everything inside. Okay, there will not be any stitches outside. That's the holding this of doing this. Just go ahead and sew like this. You can see. Go ahead, sew it straight like this. Sew it straight. So when you sew it straight, I'm going to just overlock the inside. That's what I want to do to it. I don't want to have any stitches outside at all. So go ahead and stitch this straight. So do the same thing to the other side, then we'll continue. So let me go ahead and sew. Now take the facing. Let the right side face each other. Right side must match each other, okay? Let it match, let it rhyme, right? So I'll go ahead and stitch with 1/2 inch round, okay? You can pin it. So go ahead and just stitch it with 1/2 inch round. All right, so I'm done with the neckline. Let me show you what I did with the neckline. There are different ways you can finish up the facing, okay? So after, you know, sewing it round, I notched it. Then I went ahead to give it a very good press. Then I weave, you can see the down part. I weave the down part round. Then and I'll put hemming gum, enough hemming gum. I put enough. That's what I use. Now another thing you can do is to unstitch it round, okay? That's another thing you can do, unstitch it round, okay? Some other persons will sew it round, but it's usually not very neat. If you want something very neat, it's either you put enough, make sure you put enough gum stay, hemming gum, put enough so that it's going to adhere very well. Or you unstitch, okay? And you can even do both. You can unstitch and still put the hemming gum, then just unstitch it to secure it properly. So this is what we have at the moment. So over here too, I also went ahead to overlock this part, okay? I don't want to do that halakun style that they normally do, that the stitches will be outside. Then after doing this, you are going to remember is both the front and the back is the same neckline. So you have to make sure that it rhymes. So join this together like this. Make sure it match, okay? Then just sew it like this. So when you get here, sew it like this. When you get here, just curve your hand a little bit. Then go ahead and sew it down. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now, if you want to put slits on your buba, you can. But for this one, I'm not going to be putting slits. You can also put slits. If you are putting slits, just measure 3 inches upward. Then you can put your slits by the side. But I'm not putting slits on this particular one. And after joining the sides, I gave it a good press, and this is the row and buba. I hope you understand everything I've taught you. For the row, I just went ahead to just hem the hem lines and make sure everything is well placed. That's just it. Just follow the measurements, and depending on the measurement of your customer, I hope next time you want to make a row and buba, this video you make reference to it. Right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.